The spokesperson for UNICEF, Tess Ingram, joins me on the line from Cairo. Welcome, Tess. First of all, your perspective. What most concerns you about the conditions that children are living in Gaza?
Well, the threat is threefold as we see it at UNICEF. There's the threat of bombs and bullets, and as we just saw there on the screen earlier, the number of trauma cases of children presenting with terrible injuries at hospitals continues every single day. But then, of course, there's the threat that children are experiencing from the ground, the humanitarian crisis that is now firmly gripping Gaza, and that's the threat of malnutrition and of disease. We're seeing children, skip many meals, not get the proper nutrients that they need, and the lack of clean water and sanitation, as well as the very crowded spaces that people are living in, with almost 1.6 million people now estimated to be in and around Rafah. That creates conditions that are ripe for the spread of disease. So we're very concerned about children who've not only gone through daily horrors, living with the fear of this war, but are experiencing injuries, hunger, and disease.
You talked there about a lot of physical problems, dangers, practical problems. I'd like to ask you, if I may, about the psychological aspect of what children are going through. Personally, I'm a great believer that traumatic experiences that people experience when they're young will become a problem often for them when they grow up. Do you see it that way? Do you think that psychological problems could arise from what they're going through at the moment?
It's something that UNICEF is concerned about, and that we're working on the ground at the moment to try and get ahead of as best we can. As I said before, children are experiencing daily fear, and we hear stories from children who say that when they go to bed at night and hear the bombs, they're not able to sleep. They have nightmares because they're so scared about what's going to happen while they're sleeping. And I think, if you're living your life against a backdrop of violence and conflict, of course it's going to have long-term impacts. Until the fighting stops, it's very difficult for us to access and assess those mental health needs, but we are seeing the immediate traumatic responses in children as they respond to this day in, day out. And what UNICEF is doing is we're there providing mental health and psychosocial services, talking to children, playing with them, trying to help them feel safe and heal as much as they can immediately from this trauma, so that it doesn't have such a big impact on their lives at the end of this fighting.
Yeah, it's great to hear that the mental issues are being addressed as well. Good on UNICEF for helping there. If you had like a kind of a dream list of things that you would like to give to those children in Gaza now, what do they need the most?
More than anything, they need peace. They need for this fighting to stop. So if I could have a dream list, at the very top of the list would be an immediate and long-lasting humanitarian ceasefire, because that is the only way that the children of Gaza will find peace, that they need to stop that fear that we were just talking about, and also for the aid to properly address the enormous humanitarian needs that are just mounting by the day. But, beyond that ceasefire, what that would enable us to do the other things on our list. So providing clean water, providing food, doing more of these mental health services. The list is long.
Really appreciate your time, Tess, and best of luck with the work you're doing there. Hopefully you'll be able to help a lot of those children at some point. Tess Ingram, spokesperson for UNICEF. Thank you.